Hi everybody, I am Babu Matthew, HOD, Department of Microbiology. And today I would like to take a class on xenobiotic compounds and their hazards to the environment. This class is taught in the E-Content Development Center, Majlis Arts and Science College, Valancheri. Xenobiotic compounds are man-made chemicals that present in the environment at a higher concentration. When we look at the nature, we can see all the naturally occurring compounds are the combination of one or two or three elements that are present in the periodic table that you have already studied in the schooling time. All these naturally occurring compounds can be degraded by microorganisms. And microorganisms have the ability to degrade all the naturally occurring compounds. This concept or this principle is known as the principle of microbial infallibility, proposed by Alexander in 1965. However, microorganisms are unable to degrade some of the xenobiotic compounds and other compounds. The compound that resists biodegradation, that is microbial degradation, that is known as biodegradation, and thereby persist in the environment are known as recalcitrant. Now we look at the characteristics of these xenobiotic compounds and recalcitrants. Why some xenobiotic compounds may be recalcitrant? It may be due to some of the following reasons. Number one, the xenobiotic compounds are not recognized as substrate by the existing degradative enzymes. Microorganisms are having digestive enzymes and degradative enzymes, and these enzymes are not recognizing these xenobiotic compounds as a proper substrate, so they remain and persist in the environment. Number two, xenobiotic compounds are highly stable, that is, chemically and biologically they are inert due to the presence of the substitution groups like halogens, nitro and amino groups. And also this group is known as the benzene ring, presence of benzene ring, and this ring cannot be easily broken down by the microorganisms. And number three, xenobiotic compounds are insoluble in water. And number four, xenobiotic compounds are toxic to the microorganisms, or they will give rise to toxic products due to the presence of microbial activity. Fifth, xenobiotic compounds are larger in size. Because of their larger size, their entry into the microbial cells prevented. And sixth one is the lack of proper permease enzymes. Usually microorganisms, especially the bacteria, are having cell wall, and the cell wall contains permease enzymes. These permease enzymes, lack of permease enzyme in the cell wall of the bacteria, which is specific to the xenobiotic compounds, lacking in the cell wall of bacteria, also preventing their entry into the microbial cells. And because of all these reasons, xenobiotic compounds persist in the environment as recalcitrant. Now we look into some of the hazards of xenobiotic compounds. Xenobiotic compound present a number of potential hazards to human beings as well as to the environment. Some of the environmental hazards as follows. Number one, toxicity. Cyanobiotic compounds, most of the cyanobiotic compounds like halogenated and aromatic hydrocarbons producing toxic products which are toxic to bacteria as well as humans, and even lower concentration, these toxic products of the cyanobiotic compounds produce severe allergic reaction and severe skin problems to human beings, and even reduce the reproducing potentials. And number two, carcinogenicity. Some of the cyanobiotic compounds have been shown to be carcinogenic, or these compounds are having the ability to produce cancer in animals. And number three is the progressive buildup in the environment. As I said in the earlier, cyanobiotic compounds are resisting biodegradation, and that is why they are known as recalcitrants, and thereby they will be persisting in the environment, and there is a progressive buildup of their concentration with time. And the number four is the bioaccumulation or biomagnification. Most of the cyanobiotic compounds, especially DDT are recalcitrants, and also they are lipophilic in nature. Lipophilic means type of affinity towards lipid compounds. So these compounds as a result producing biomagnification or bioaccumulation. Bioaccumulation refers to the accumulation of toxic products in the food chain that is present in the ecosystem or ecology. For example, DDT, as I said, it is a lipophilic in nature. DDT has been using as a pesticide in many developing countries. DDT has already been banned from many developed countries. Still, this DDT is using as a pesticide in many countries, as a pesticide to kill the pests present in the agricultural products. So when DDT is using as a pesticide, it remains in the soil for a long time, and when rain comes, this DDT is gone back to the river bodies, and in the river bodies small organisms like algae, bacteria and all these small organisms will consume this DDT into their body. Since this DDT is a lipophilic in nature, this DDT is adhere to the lipid content of the organisms, and when these organisms are consumed by larger organisms like fish, again fish by larger fish, and finally it is reaching to human beings. When the DDT's level reaching to the higher levels of organisms, the content of DDT is very high, and it is posing severe health problems to the animals as well as human beings. This concept is known as biomagnification or bioaccumulation. In short, we are looking at the cyanobiotic compounds and their environmental hazards. As I said, cyanobiotic compounds are man-made chemicals that are persisting in the environment at high concentration. Some of these cyanobiotic compounds are recalcitrants, and this recalcitrant means they are resisting biodegradation, and thereby They are posing severe threat to the environment as well as to the human beings. Thank you.